Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we're starting off the front page review with The Nation. Major headline: North Central favored to produce Ganduje's successor. APC NEC meets today in Abuja. All party organs activated. Why PDP should zone 2027 election presidential ticket to South by Ghana. In other news, you see a picture. Government unveils produce for Lagos initiative with 500 billion naira takeoff fund. There's a picture showing the governor and a few other dignitaries cutting the ribbon. But then there are also a lot of trucks that were lined up as well. The event was broadcast yesterday on TVC. Vindicated, says ex-First Bank CEO Onosoya. Loan case struck out. World Bank backs Nigeria's 90,000-kilometer optic network project. And Obi Baba Ahmed part ways over Labour Party crisis. Ex-running mate joins Abure camp. Also, there's another story. Akwa Ibom Oshu senators drop PDP for APC as 3 reps defect to APC as well. Okay, so what story are we? There's a lot of defection.
Congratulations to the people of Lagos. On behalf of them, the governor has unveiled the Produce for Lagos initiative with 500 billion naira off-take guarantee fund. And this initiative is supposed to is a partnership between the government and private sector, and is supposed to provide guaranteed off-take contracts. So some of us are hopeful we get access through then access to financing and logistics support, connecting Lagosians directly with Lagos Dynamics to provide food and food security for the Lagos residents of Lagos, as well as he says to provide food security as well as inclusive prosperity for everyone. This is a very good initiative so that the business of food, Lagos is usually the end goal of every farmer. Everybody that has anything is looking at Lagos as market. But before it gets here, all the other costs are added. But this will take care of that because they have commissioned and deployed 150 cold and dry trucks, the largest of its kind in this partnership between government and private sector that will boost agricultural production and reduce reliance on informal and coordinated supply chains. It will also create jobs for the youth. It will increase economic returns for all economic system stakeholders. So these middlemen that make all the prices, all the costs fall on Lagos have been taken care of. Food supply will come directly, and
transportation
in various hubs already existing within Lagos, they'll be able to get them. He said the food systems will be implemented by the Lagos Food System Infrastructure Company, LAF Cinco, and supported by key special purpose. Something.
No, but you know the Lagos. It's
so
obvious that they've been working to achieve this. The hubs have been established over a period of time.
I found this one of the supportive companies, the special purpose vehicles are the Lagos Bulk Trading Company. So I knew about the Lagos Bulk Trading Company. We've been trying to see how we can partner. There's the the Eco Logistics Company that you know, and the Produce for Lagos Fund. So all of these have been existing, and eventually they are, you know, adding up to this huge success.
Thinking.
Yes, good thinking.
Yeah. The World Bank Group is working with Nigeria to deliver a 90,000-kilometer fiber optic cable project. They said it's aimed at transforming the country's digital infrastructure, empowering broad-based economic growth. We had Mr. Anshula Kant, who is the Chief Financial Officer and World Bank Managing Director. We met with our President, as well as Mr. Wale Odun, the Minister of Finance, and also Dr. Bosun Tijani, who is the Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy Minister. And, you know, after the meeting, Mr. Kant said that the World Bank is fully committed to supporting Nigeria's digital transformation agenda, as well as broader microeconomic reforms that are being implemented by the President. He describes this particular project as the biggest forthcoming projects that we're partnering on in the digital space, providing broadband access across the country. We have Mr. Wale Adun described the fiber optic cable initiative as one of the largest of its kind globally as well, structured through a sustainable and commercially viable financing model. So he says that it is self-financing and structured to ensure that the users of the infrastructure will pay for its services, making it highly viable. And Dr. Tijani also said that the initiative was designed to be future-facing and growth-driven. And he says that the end result, what the aim is all about is we want every home, office, school, and hospital to have access to fiber-based broadband. And sounds interesting.
Yeah,
and
exciting. At what cost?
As you use, as you
yeah, it's a good one anyway. So, cholera kills 12 in Niger, 236 hospitalized, 6 councils affected. So, it's been reported that 12 people have died from cholera outbreak in Niger and 236 others hospitalized. This outbreak was first reported on Sunday in Shiroro local government area. And as of yesterday, 6 local governments have been affected. Now, the Commissioner of Primary Health, Dr. Ibrahim Ahmed Dangana, he has said that the state government has opened an isolation center at the old wing of the late Senator Idris Ibrahim Kuta Primary Health Care Center. And what's most notable here is that they've embarked on aggressive sensitization. So people know that they have to be careful and know what to do when they get involved. Also that they are going to create isolation centers in places where they are isolated and treated. So it's the season, so people have to be very careful. It's in Niger State, but it can be anywhere else.
So I want to take this story. The former group managing director of First Bank Nigeria, Dr. Olabisi Onosoya, has said that he is vindicated. And this is someone, after the case was struck out, based on settlement between the parties that the loan had been repaid. The case was directly involving the first defendant, Babatunde, the erstwhile chairman of the bank, and there were sort of allegations that was going to tarnish the name of Dr. Olabisi Onosoya, and he said that since 2015, when he had to step aside to answer for this case, he didn't run away. He showed up for every court appearance, and it was because he wanted to clear his name because he had served in the banking industry meritoriously for 30 years, and that this case was going to smear his good name, and that he had maintained, his lawyer said they had maintained right from the beginning that they were not involved in this, in the controversial loan. They were not involved in that loan, and that investigations by EFCC revealed that he was not involved in the loan. You know, sometimes cases happen, and we take the story when it's trending, when they talk about how this person is involved in this loan, and the person's name comes on in the media space with allegations of
headline with the
fraud.
Yes, we read the headline. So that was why I had to take this story where the case was struck out. His name cleared of involvement in the controversial loan giving, and
what
finally,
the circumstance of it?
No, the person that got the loan has now paid back, but he wasn't involved in the approval of the loan. But because he's the group managing director of the bank, he had to be involved in the case as well. After 30 years of service,
the bank was also drugged. Former chairman was also drugged.
We'll take a quick break. When we return, he's the one that got the loan. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We'll continue with the front page review with the Punch. Major headline: tariff battle escalates. Disco rejects review talks with states. 36 states energy commissioners to meet with federal government to discuss as tariff showdown worsens. In other news, a more detailed picture of the 500 billion naira produce for Lagos initiative that was launched yesterday. And we have Bauchi governor, minister raise alarm over fake news threats. Ogun residents protest after fatal crash kill 4 pupils. Defection drama, APC-PDP exchange barbs over Adeleke's U-turn. 2027 presidency, PDP sees southern candidates as game changer. APC expands the National Assembly control with 7 new PDP defectors as Rep approves $347 million loan for Lagos Calabar Highway others. Then, final story I'm seeing here. Tinubu APC governors in high-stake meeting before NEC.
So
Bauchi State Governor. Okay, so as we know, the Lateef Jakonde annual memorial lecture was recently held, and the theme for the 3rd edition was journalism and the challenges of nation building in a multi-ethnic society. And we had the Bauchi State Governor and the Minister of Information and National Orientation there, and they, said their piece. The Governor of Bauchi State said that lamented that editorial independence was under siege, with media houses tempted to sacrifice truth for access to the deep pockets of politicians and corporations competing to control narratives. He says the digital age has opened the floodgates of information and misinformation. Social media has democratized speech, but also diluted truth. Artificial intelligence now creates headlines, but who checks the heart behind them? And he says the media must call out every instance where there's just so much. Let me just read. He said that nation building would remain elusive unless media fulfilled its watchdog role. So this is a call to all of, everybody who's in the media, journalists, social media people. And the Minister for Information also called out those he described as self-proclaimed journalists who operate simply because they possess smartphones and internet access. And he also calling out trained professionals against following such type of journalists in disseminating unverified content. He says that what we have today is the media industry is being challenged. We have all kinds of people calling themselves journalists. They have muddled things up. As a result, we have many cases of misinformation and disinformation being sent out in the name of being professionals. And he's asking Nigeria Guild of Editors to ensure that those who want to practice journalism keep to the rules of engagement. It's just the same.
I like that he also emphasized that, the media has the power to reform society.
Yeah.
Is that not how we heard news that the students, the result was cancelled and it was completely false? I think you took that story before. That exams,
I took that WAEC was cancelled and was completely
and it was
false.
Completely false, and it went out. You have a story?
Yeah, I do. The teen stabbed some friend to death in Gombe after heated dispute.
Wow.
19-year-old boy, Mustafa Adamu, has been arrested by the police in Gombe State for stabbing his friend, Yahuza Labaran, to death during a quarrel on a farm. So people who reported said this happened on Monday in Kulani Shesi Village. Sorry, in case I didn't call it well. In Balaga local government area of the state. And people who were there said they saw them arguing, the two friends arguing. The one who dies 20 years, they were arguing, and all of a sudden he brings up a knife and stabs the friend in the shoulder. Wow. So by the time they took the friend to the hospital, he was already proclaimed dead. So when they were interrogating him, he said he didn't mean to kill him, that he acted out of anger.
Exactly.
What was he doing with the knife?
Exactly. Let me not even generalize. You know how they say these people usually just walk around with daggers and knives around. So he said he didn't mean to, but then it means that you have to be in control of your anger, because at the end of the day,
self-control is not a soft skill; it's a life skill.
Yeah,
and it should be part of the curriculum. Exactly. I don't know why we're not teaching it.
Exactly.
Your story.
So I have the battle between the commissioners of energy across the 36 states and the discos. So the Enugu regulatory authority had said that they were going to reduce this tariff for band A customers from 209 naira to 160 naira per kilowatt, and the discos say like, what happened that that this is going to have serious economic impact. But now the 36 commissioners, each state is now in charge of their electricity regulation, and so they said Lagos and Plateau and Ondo had already indicated interest in dropping the tariff as well. But are they going to pay the difference, or are they subsidizing, or they are just dropping the tariff? No, because the tariff, according to them, was exceedingly out of proportion.
It's not been
so
they
in their calculation think it is cost reflective at 160.
Oh yeah, because they are using our own money to cover up for the people that are not paying.
Exactly. So they said August 1st in Enugu, that's what will happen. But now the Enugu State disco are against it. They're fighting against
because
it.
They have many people that are not captured.
And the 36 commissioners are in sync with themselves. They said that without any equivocation, each state's electricity regulation is uniquely positioned and determined to implement and appropriately appropriate the right electricity tariff that is fair to customers, and that's their business. People have been criticizing, just as you said, that the people were now used to service to subsidize all that.
They are punishing those that are metered. They are punishing those that are metered to cover for those that are stealing and unmetered people.
Shouldn't be so.
There's a sad story. Some angry residents of the Sowo Village in Abeokuta, Sagamu Expressway protested the killing of 4 pupils in Iddo Primary School, Kobape, Ogun State, in a road crash that occurred on Wednesday. They said that it's barely 48 hours after another person, a motorcycle, and his passengers were crushed to death in the same Siun junction of the same expressway. And Punch learned that the accident occurred around 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Said the Eyewitnesses that some angry youths now decided to attempted lynching the driver. We don't want that of the vehicle, but he was rescued by security operatives. And the challenge is that accidents tend to happen a lot within that area. These 4 people that were killed is avoidable if people just control, if the drivers control themselves. Said 4 male children of Iddo Primary School were killed because a Toyota Corolla that was speeding lost control and rammed into the pupils on the walkway, and the community members just decided that they had had enough and they were about to lynch the driver. There are areas there are some villages that have schools that children have to cross the roads. So it's important that maybe they put speed bumps or something, and people don't just drive. Respecting zebra crossing is extremely important. Moving on to Daily Sun, major headline: Lamido hits Tinubu APC, accuses president ruling party of destroying democracy and dividing Nigerians. In other news, food security, we've taken that story. 100 billion naira has been raised by 5 governors as 5 governors launch the 500 billion Produce for Lagos initiative. That's the beauty. You mentioned the fact that it was 5 governors, Abi.
Yes.
Yes, I didn't mention them.
Yes.
Yeah, they were invited.
Yes, five
kind of
states coming together. It looked really, really good. I felt like, okay, we've had Lagos and then Kebbi before, and now we have 5 governors working together to ensure that
that's the way
economy works, Other stories, we have loan and vindicated. I took that story. Media best suited to train public servants. That's from Governor Mohammed as Guild of Editors Old 3rd Jakonde Memorial Lecture. I think you've taken that story as well. Senate hails Tinubu 3 billion allocation to Eastern Rail Line. And 2007, PDP elders demand presidential ticket for, I think it meant to be 2027, but it wrote 2007.
2027.
They wrote 2007 on the headline, but I think they meant 2027. So, but it's a headline. Anyway, maybe not. Who has a story here?
I do. They said the Senate on Tuesday commended the president for allocating $3 billion to the reconstruction of the long-abandoned Eastern Rail Line, describing the development as a major step towards correcting infrastructure imbalance and addressing regional concerns in the southeast and the northeast. So the funds are part of the 21 billion external borrowing plan that had just been approved by the Senate. We know that. So this will help to finance that. And we have the Senator Victor Ume, who had been advocating for the inclusion of this Eastern Corridor, stretching from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, in the Federal Infrastructure Plan in plenary. So he was the one expressing gratitude to the president for fulfilling the commitment he had made, to the people of the Southeast. And then we had the Senate president who thanked him for his bipartisan approach while using the opportunity to criticize partisan divisions. I found this funny. He said, sometimes I see you at ADC meetings, but you're appreciating the work of President Tinubu. This shows that Nigeria is maturing politically. Good governance must not be good governance must not have party boundaries, and I found that interesting. I was like, so you have been watching him go for ADC meetings.
Honestly, politicians are moving. Okay. Moving on to our final paper, Vanguard. 2027 coalition will back any of us that emerges ADC candidates. That's from Amechi. In other news, Jakonde's template to save Nigeria. That's from media, journalists, icon leaders, others. Tinubu, Shetima, Oshibajo, others attend APC's NEC today. Buhari's memory to be honored at the meeting. Will stand by our tariff order, didn't tamper with generation cost, EERC. 2027 coalition formidable in theory, not sure-footed. That's from Ulu Fashion. And French media giant acquires MultiChoice, gain full control of DSTV, GoTV. You're going to take a step.
Yeah, so Amechi, the political battle line has been drawn, and you hear smear campaigns everywhere. So, former Minister of Transportation Amechi has addressed his people in Port Harcourt, saying that the president, Tinubu, has failed Nigerians, and he is not concerned about the welfare of Nigerians, and that they should move to ADC, where they plan to end the second tenure of the present administration. This, he said, will help Nigerians to recover all that they have lost. So this is found in one of the papers. So yeah.
I was going to take MultiChoice. Kera Plus has acquired 55% of MultiChoice stake in the DSTV.
What did you call it? Which
Kera Plus.
Okay.
Kera Plus, the French own Kera Plus. Yeah, so they have full ownership now of
what does that mean? Reduce prices?
Yes.
They just want to make more money.
I didn't say that. So
I'm asking.
they have been looking to expand to African countries, and MultiChoice is our major. So they now have full control of DSTV, GoTV.
That's a major African
Nigerians.
business. That's a major African business that's gone to France now.
But it wasn't really owned completely by
Nigerians.
No, I mean
they are still investors. They are cashing out. They probably cash out that money and put it into other businesses.
So they were
within,
initially part owners, but with this 55%,
they now take more. They are now dominant.
They should just give us cheaper prices.
What
and
about
you said you wanted
brands?
more French channels. So
because we do French in school, it would be nice to just turn on the French channel.
Interesting. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.